Hi guys, it's getting to that time of year when our motivation is just going like, yeah, downwards. Since we're like at the hump day of the year, March. But first, before we get into the video, we need to establish, so where do you find motivation? Motivation is not found. It is not like gold that if you keep digging for it, it'll appear. It really comes from within, but there's things that you can do that can increase or almost trick your mind into being productive, if that makes sense. So in this video, I'm gonna break this video into two sections. So one section is gonna be about general tips that work, and then my tips, the tips that I have kind of developed myself that aren't as mainstream, I guess. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first tip that I have is to make a schedule or a to-do list. It helps, okay, it works. Making a schedule or at least having a to-do list of things that you need to get done by the end of the day helps keep you on track and really just being honest with yourself. Like, hey, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing to be able to relax at the end of the day or to be able to do this and this at the end of the day? Make a schedule, make a to-do list, it works. Next tip is to remove all distractions from your study workspace. So I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and my phone is just dead silent. And it really works. It works in helping you to stay focused when you're doing a task because you're not distracted being like, oh, someone's texting me, someone's calling me. No, you're just doing your work and you're not caring about whether they're texting you or calling you because you can text them back, you can call them back when you're done with what you're doing. Also, turn your TV off if it is distracting you. Like if you find yourself paying more attention to the show or the movie than your work, then is it really just background noise at this point? You know what I'm saying? Turn it off. Next thing is to try to wake up at a decent time, okay? Even if you're not waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., like you see all the productivity YouTubers doing, at least wake up at a decent time for your classes. At least try to aim to be up before 10 because I promise you, when you're waking up in the morning, and it's all because you wake up at a decent time. So the next tip is to have a drink with you. So a lot of people love having drinks with them when they're studying or doing class. Water is the best because it's healthy. Actually, let me get my water. See, we got our water. And it is so good for you. So just having a water bottle, having a tea, a coffee, whatever, but having a drink not only will help you stay hydrated so that you can pay attention more in class and stay focused. So you're not finding yourself getting up, oh, I'm thirsty, oh, I want a coffee, oh, I want tea, blah, blah, blah. You already have it with you. So you have no choice but to sit down and get the work done. The next tip that I have is to sleep. Please fix your sleep schedule, okay? You cannot expect it to be functioning and have motivation if you are running on 2-3 hours of sleep or if you're just groggy because you slept late, okay? When you actually like sleep a lot and you go to bed at a decent time, you will genuinely feel better. Like go to sleep earlier. So the next tip is to make your space comfy yet motivating. So surround your space with things that you enjoy while you're studying or while you're working or while you're in class. So I like having candles. I like wrapping a blanket around my feet. I like putting on a robe if it's super cold in the morning or super cold at night. I also turn on my heater. My room is really, really cold, so having a heater on just makes my room a little bit more warm and inviting to get out of bed. And I also have posters in my room with relevant information. So I have a bunch of quotes on my wall. This wall has a bunch of quotes. I have quotes above my desk and beside my desk because I just look at them and I'm instantly motivated. The next tip that I have is to change up your workspace to add some variety or some spice into your life. Sometimes I get tired of my room, okay? I'm in my room a lot. So sometimes it's just like time to change things up, switch things up, get a new change of space, get away from my desk or get away from my bed and go downstairs and sit on the couch or sit on the dining table, and it just changes up the space, adds a little bit of variety, a little bit of spice, and just makes things different and new and unique, and makes you want to study more because you're kind of in a new environment, if that makes sense. For this section of the video, I'm going to be talking about my personal tips and the things that I personally do and the ones that I feel like kind of help me in school and staying motivated. So the first thing that I do personally is film myself while working. Now, I know I am a YouTuber or whatever, so it's kind of like my hobby to film myself. But even if you're not a YouTuber and even if you don't upload it anywhere, filming a time lapse of yourself working, first of all, it keeps you off your phone, and second of all, it is fun to watch after. It's really cool kind of like seeing your work after you've finished, like seeing how you were like moving and stuff. Like, maybe I just like watching time lapses, I don't know, but I enjoy it and I think it is so cool, and if you can, do it. Okay, think of summer or spring break. Okay, I promise you it'll get you so hyped. I have spring break next week and I'm already so excited, and it has helped push me through all of my assignments and stuff because I'm like, I have spring break next week. I got a week off of school and I have a week just to do nothing, just to, sorry, the plane does not want me to film, but I have a week just to do nothing. And if you don't have spring break, because I know some schools are really crappy and they decided to get rid of spring break just because of online school. But if you don't have spring break, look forward to summer because summer is here. It's almost here. It's almost here. Summer is gonna be here in like 2 months, because what, March, April, May, and it's summer. Okay, think of it like that and things will go by so much quicker because you are looking forward to something. Next tip is to just grind for a couple hours so you can relax. I personally don't like taking breaks in between assignments or in between school. Why? Because once I take a break, I don't want to go back and do the work. That's just a personal thing. If I stop doing something, I will never go back and do it. So I have found a way around that, and I know that for me myself, I have to do all the stuff that I need to do and get it done before I do anything else. Now, that doesn't mean like overeating or sleeping. I'll make sure I take breaks to eat and sleep if I need to. But I like to prioritize assignments over breaks because once I break, I don't really come back, okay? So the next tip that I have is to listen to music if you can, kind of. So for me personally, I don't listen to my regular like music playlists when I'm studying. I prefer to listen to like lo-fi, which is basically music that doesn't have any lyrics, but it has a beat to it. So if you look up lo-fi study music or like lo-fi study playlists, you'll find a ton on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure there are some on Spotify and Apple Music as well, so you can look there. But I personally use YouTube Music, so YouTube is what I search it up on. And I love lo-fi because there's no lyrics, so I can't be distracted by any of the words, and it's just it makes me feel like I'm in a movie, which kind of goes in with a couple of my other tips that I'm going to talk about in a bit. And yeah, I just really like it. The next tip that I have is spiteful studying. So, spiteful studying. I don't think it's a mainstream type of studying, but I do think that it works. So, spiteful studying is basically just studying to prove someone wrong. It's not because you actually like enjoy the subject or whatever, but it is to prove someone wrong. And it works. Okay, I've done it before. I don't necessarily do it right now because I actually enjoy a lot of the stuff that I'm learning right now. But if you're doing a subject that you don't enjoy and you just cannot bring yourself to do, spiteful studying is like the way to go. Okay, it is. You don't even have to like, just think of someone who has ever said that you can't do something and then do whatever you need to do in spite of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. The next thing that I have is to pretend that you are Rory Gilmore, okay? Putting yourself in the shoes of a fictional character not only romanticizes your life, which we talked about in my last video, and makes you just in general more happier with your situation, but it also will kind of motivate you to study because you can pretend you're in a movie and you can pretend you have a camera crew watching you. Sometimes you just need to put that pressure on yourself. You need to pretend that the whole world is going to see you studying, and you got to do it. And the next tip that I have is to find your Paris Geller or your pacer. So if you watch Gilmore Girls, you know that Paris Geller is the other girl or another successful girl in the show, and she is very studious. She loves studying. She studies her butt off throughout the show. And finding your Paris Geller, which is basically someone who is at or above your level or where you want to be in terms of grades, organization, anything. Like, find someone that you want to pace yourself off of and just use them as almost a guide. You don't have to be jealous of them, but you just kind of want to use them as like a pacer, like in running, like how you have someone who is keeping you on track and keeping you like on your direction. So that is your person. So finding your person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like someone in your life. It can be a fictional character. It can be a person that you don't know. It can be an ideal person of you that you have in your head, and just use that as a pacer to stay motivated. So the last tip that I have is to engage in class. Okay, you will not have motivation to do your work if you do not engage in class, if you don't talk to your teachers, if you don't ask questions about things that you don't know how to do. You will not be motivated to do your work. Okay, be engaged in class, ask questions, talk to your teachers. So your teachers will love you. They'll be more inclined to bump up your grade sometime in the future. And also, if you are ever missing motivation, you can just like talk with your teacher while you're doing assignments or to help you get your work done. Because if you understand the material and it's easy for you, I promise you, like, you'll have no reason to procrastinate and you'll have no reason to put off the work because you know how to do it. Sometimes our bodies naturally put off doing things because we don't want to be faced with the challenge. We don't want to find something that we can do wrong. But it's kind of our own problem because we don't pay attention in class and we don't talk to our teachers. So that's why I want to stress this, and I cannot stress this enough. Talk to your teachers. Engage in class. Okay? Okay. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. I would love for you to join our little fam, our little group, our little clique, and we're on a road to 500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for 400. I am in the process of making a special video because I'm going to have a 500 subscriber video special that is going to go up when we reach there, so I'm super excited for that. And yeah, bye guys.